Wellness begins at the grocery store. What's placed in carts ultimately goes in our bodies. So a shopping list filled with natural, whole foods is ideal. Eating the right foods can be the difference between feeling energized or sluggish all day. But our abundance of fresh produce doesn't mean feel-good magic has been worked on the lives of Southwest Floridians. Many are in the dark about how to preserve a food's nutritional integrity while preparing healthy cuisine. This is why a healthy cooking class both inspires wellness and helps to dispel trepidation about preparing natural foods.
I think teaching people how to prepare healthy foods at home is important because a lot of people have grown up with bad habits. And in order to live a healthy life and be sustained throughout your life, it's important to learn how to make simple foods that will keep you going all day long instead of just caffeine and sugar and things that people put in their body to try to make themselves energized, but it doesn't really work.
The class also aims to remove the mystery behind processed foods by educating consumers about healthier, more natural alternatives.
Typically, if someone walks into my class, their attention will definitely be held because I am belting out all of this stuff about the food. I'm giving them facts. For example, what's the difference between soy sauce and tamari? Well, soy sauce is soybeans that are aged with chemicals. Tamari is soybeans that are aged with thyme. That's why you find tamari in a health food store. If you look at something and it's not in the form the way nature intended it to be, then it's not a whole food. Like a noodle, it was not grown as a noodle, it was processed into a noodle. So when you have that and you have a choice between that and brown rice, if you want something that's healthier for your body, you're going to choose the whole grain.
This next dish,
Along with their appetites, class attendees bring a pen and paper to capture the recipes as the chef belts out ingredients.
Actually, it's going to have almost every color of the rainbow in it. Tonight, I'll be making several things. I'll be making greens, and I'll be sauteing them with some fresh onions and a little bit of olive oil. Then I'll also be making today a curried lentil stew, which gives a burst of kind of an international flavor for those with a palate who like that sort of thing, but is also kind of tame enough to be suitable for almost anyone. And for dessert, I'll be making raw date balls, which are really yummy. They last a long time in your fridge, and they're made with raw fruits and nuts that give your body enzymes and nourishment.
And the healthy meal enjoyed by all both feeds the soul and quiets a growling stomach.
So who wants to try everything?
At the end of the cooking class, she gives you a sample of everything on a plate. And when you see how good it is, you're naturally inspired to want to duplicate it at home. You just have to taste it. And once you taste it, the seasonings that she uses prove that healthy food can be just as tasty as food that's loaded with fats and oils and things that aren't healthy.
The key ingredients in this class comprise a recipe for congeniality. Take 1 part conversation and mix with 2 parts laughter. Let simmer until new friendships bubble.
It's just such fun. And when Brooke gets going, she can be so entertaining, and we end up laughing and joking and having just a wonderful social time as well as a learning time. All I can say is just come and see for yourself. Once you're here, you'll never want to leave, and you'll want to come back to every class because it's that entertaining.
There's something different to be learned in every healthy cooking class. For example, some classes teach that it's best not to cook food. Charles Marble at the Mangrove Health Institute in Naples liked his food raw.
Raw food means eating food that hasn't been cooked above 105 degrees. And the main purpose for the raw food is just keeping the enzymes intact. The more we process our food, the less nutrients that are available to us in that food. Fresh is best is the old adage. Eating our food as fresh as it can be, the way it was in the beginning of time, the closest to the source, as soon as the food was picked, that's when the food is the most vital.
And when food retains those vital nutrients, the body reaps the energy and gains wellness and vigor for life.
Like on Thanksgiving, you eat that big meal, and what after? Everybody crashes because they're so tired. And they're tired because the body's devoting all the energy to digest that food. But with the raw foods, you don't go through that because the enzymes are there to help digest all of those foods.
The best part is that anyone can attain wellness. A raw food preparation class translates what's found in the produce section into interesting and satisfying recipes.
Welcome everyone back. It's all a bunch of familiar, friendly faces. I see a couple new faces, which is always good to see. So here we are. The main purpose of the class is to inspire people, to give them healthy recipes that are colorful, tasty, and simple. So those are my basic criteria, is try to find recipes that are simple, that anybody can make. I'm not a chef, and I tell them all the time in the class, and if I can make this recipe, they can make the recipe. In tonight's class, we'll start with fresh watermelon juice, and the purpose is because it's cooling for the body, it's hydrating and flushing for the kidney. It's a very simple thing to do. And it doesn't take a lot of extra work. Just slice the watermelon nice and thin. I like to run it through with the rind, the seed, and the pulp all through at the same time. Run it right through a simple juicer. Watermelon is very hydrating, very flushing for the kidney, a great source of potassium and a great source of vitamin B6.
Charles is not somebody that just shows you how to cook raw food. He explains about every single ingredient of vegetable, fruit, anything that you take into your body, how you can do a great deal for your well-being just by eating right.
Ask for heirloom varieties. It's a growing trend.
Plus, the recipes prepared enhance physical and spiritual wellness.
I think fresh foods help the body on a mental and even potentially a spiritual level because of their vitality, the amount of energy that's available in the food. Basically, fruits and vegetables are trapped sunlights and minerals from the soil. So that trapped sunlight, the red in a tomato, is a vibrational spectrum of red that you would see in the rainbow.
So grab a piece of nature by stepping into a healthy cooking class and learn how a few discerning choices coupled with basic preparation skills can promote lifelong wellness and happiness.